Welcome everybody as we get into this next game. It is our final game of this particular series. We're going to be spawning directly on top of IM.horror, who is the red Zerg in the top right, going up against ST.Squirtle, the blue Protoss in the bottom left. We are in a final deciding game between these two players, and considering the last games we've seen, I am so happy that Daybreak is the map. We have Squirrel going to be most likely going for... Wait a second, he's rallied here. Is he not going to Forge Expand? Okay, looks like he still may Forge Expand, but looks like it might be a later pylon, because it looks like he actually misrallied and didn't get his 8th probe down there. But okay, we're on TSL4 Daybreak technically, and this is going to be the best map in my opinion for a third game after the first two games we saw. The first game, Horror went ahead and actually ended up cheesing on Entombed Valley. Let's see what your idea is going to be, Duza. But he ended up cheesing on Entombed Valley with a cancellation of the third base and then streaming forward with Roach Ling to go ahead and attack the wall that was weak. So the first game had a cheese from Horror. The second game, Squirrel went ahead and did a big Immortal Sentry Stalker War Prism push and managed to take the Alright, then if it's just something that you can tell me later, just please don't message me in the game, dudes. You're awesome, but please don't. If you're gonna just do something like that. Appreciate it though. Let's actually, speaking of Dusa, let's see what the voting system's going on. Looks like, holy god, Squirrel's a mass favorite. I actually kind of disagree with that. I'm just because of the map. I think if we see Horror play macro in this game and do the same thing as last game, he's going to have an opportunity to be attacking Squirrel's front incredibly effectively. Squirrel will not be able to take a third too easily. Horror is going to have a much easier time, say, double expanding, plus he'll have access to a rich Vespene Geyser, and that rich Vespene Geyser could be a hugely important factor into this entire play, because Horror could rush to 3 or 4 bases and rush to Mutas, and if he can do that, theoretically he could just continue containing Squirtle, and Squirtle won't be able to do much against it. But still, don't underestimate Squirrel. I've seen him, he likes to do some Blink Stalker 8-gate plays on this map sometimes, and it can be really devastating. If he pushes in to say into the third and then attacks that way, it could really be devastating to Horror, especially if Squirrel ends up hitting before mass amounts of roaches could really engage. He has to be careful when you attack between the 11 and 13 minute mark against the Zerg, because Zerg can just have so much stuff. A much higher supply than you could really lead to a very one-sided battle later on at that point in time, and it can lead to some rough situations. But the Forge now out for Squirtle at the start of the game. You can get access to a very quick +1 or a +2 if you want to get that Twilight Council down when the Forge is halfway done. It can just continue to increase the strength of those timing pushes. So Horror, I'm thinking he's gonna go Roaches at the start. I mean, it's pretty safe to say that in ZVP, but he's got his third base up without any gas, and that usually means to go for a more quick, max out Roach type of style. If you're gonna go for Lings, you usually want to get out an Extractor or two relatively quickly to get down a Metabolic Boost and other forms of tech along those lines. Theoretically, Banelings if you want to go ahead and go for Bane Bust, that kind of stuff. But Squirrel is now scouting. He sees the third base, and I guess Horror could switch it up, cancel it, throw down 2 Extractors and go for a quick Baneling Nest, but I doubt it. I feel like it could still work and be gimmicky and kind of take an annoying game 3 from Squirrel, but I highly doubt Squirrel would also fall prey to that. Plus there's no gases down yet and he hasn't canceled the third base. Alright, so with the Cybernetics core now 3/4 of the way done, Squirrel should be able to get down his tech shortly. He has both of his gases in his main mining. He's got 200 gas or so, and he's got his 100 gas using for the +1 weapons. If he goes for a War Prism play, I'm kind of expecting him to start out with the +1 4-gate thing and then lead into his assault, because if he can get a proxy pylon, say over here or something, he can actually engage his third and possibly take it out. There's a lot of space in between the natural and the third base, and if they're not spread by creep, which Horror is looking to do at the moment, it could lead to the death of this third, especially if roaches are delayed. And as of right now, Horror has got 0 gas still, and it's kind of odd that he still has no gas. He's delaying it a lot, and he may not be able to actually get out roaches at all in time to deal with a 4-gate +1 attack, although there's 2 minutes left on the research time for the warp gate. He may be cutting it close, but I feel like it'll still be alright, because if he throws down the roach one next 30 seconds to a minute, he'll have it out and then be able to have a stream of roaches out of the way when the when the Zealots will be attacking the third base. So the timing may work out into his favor in that small respect, but remains to be seen exactly what these guys will be doing. But Squirtle does have his 2 gases out, which means he definitely has access to going for a lot of sentries if that's going to be his choice. But so far, no higher tech. Scratch that. Fly Council goes down. We'll probably see him go for Blink and a +2. So he's probably not going to start out with the +1 4 gate, especially because he doesn't have the other gateways out in play yet. It's just his warp gate getting closer and closer to being done. He's actually got 50 seconds. He could still go for the +1 with the 4 gate, just maybe hitting slightly later than he would really want. Especially because if you look around at Horror, he is almost ready to get his metabolic boost. But the weird thing is the distinct lack of using his gas. He hasn't used his gas for anything, and he's got 200 now mined. There we see a lair started, so he had 300 mined, so the lair just now has begun. His metabolic boost hasn't begun, though, and this Overlord will fall prey to some flashlight sentries attacking down there. But there's not much tech to see, to be honest. He actually managed to hit Twilight Council, so that was good. I don't know if he saw the research, but we got a robotics coming in, and we could see a big War Prism Blink Stalker push into that third base. He might mix in a Immortal too, just for fun, because the Immortals still are really strong. But if you look at the Roach Warren, almost, that's a hatchery. Where's the Roach Warren? I just saw it in the production tab. I actually looked at it for once. So the Roach Warren's going to be on the way shortly. It's going to be out a lot later than it would be needed for in terms of a +1 4 gate Zealot timing, which means Horror, if he had gone for that, could have almost killed this third or killed the third. Which kind of makes me sad that he didn't do it, because that's so devastating for Zerg to lose a third really early on. And the Squirrel is just right now taking up. He does have the +2 going down. The Blink is getting closer to being done. We have Observer out first, but let's see what his gateway count is going to be looking like. He got 6 gates. That's a nice bit of an attack. It probably will be adding on some mortals with that kind of a push. Orgos going for a really quick third, but it's going to be seen at a perfect possible timing for Horror, and Squirtle will be forced to retreat this probe. The Stalker is going to throw back that Zergling, and there's no burrow quite yet. We do see that it did get started, though, at the natural expansion. We have Infestation Pit, so we're going to see Roach Infester out of Monsieur Horror, and interesting glitch. I don't know if you guys see that on the screen, if that's like an exploit glitch or it's actually really the map itself. I think it's the map itself because I can move around and see that red box. But Squirrel's going for a very awkward push at the moment. He's massively favoring the sentries, but he can't really accomplish much. There's basically a feint to make non-drones from Horror, but this supply block will actually help Horror in terms of making sure that Horror doesn't over-roach and under-drone. He does have 67 drones out, so he's not really he's not really going to be under droning. It's just he could have more, and could have more is not as bad as under droning. 3 roaches are going to go ahead and lose their lives now. I highly doubt they're going to get saved. They're going to see one. Oh no, actually an opportunity is the force field right there. He's got the energy for it, but maybe didn't think he had the time to get it down. A lot of roaches are in play though, a whole lot of roaches. But as far as the Evo chambers go, we just see the carrot base being upgraded yet again. Getting the carrot base upgrade first from Horror. I'm surprised he's not getting the melee, or the missile attacks, I mean, or the melee attacks. Usually you favor that when you go the roaches because you want them to deal as much damage as possible. They're already fairly tanky with the amount of health that they have, but I feel he's just being safe to maybe help these lings act as tanks. That could be his reasoning. Very well could be. So now we're going to have 2 Immortals out. So it's going to be a 3-base big Sentry Stalker Immortal push. With this Infestation Pit about to compassion glands, these infestors will be popping out with their 75 energy and all ready to fungal. Horror is now getting his +1 missiles, but I'm surprised he doesn't just have a double Evo. He can get his carrot base upgrades for his lings and get the missile upgrades for his roaches, and it'll benefit even more than anything else. But a 4th base will be coming down here in the bottom right as the army's pushing out without the infestor support. He only has 1 infestor hockeyed onto 2. It's kind of weird he doesn't have anything on 1. I like the fact that his army's on 3. That's actually my army hockey. I start army 3 and use 3, 4, 5 for my army. 1 for all my next side and 2 for all my production facilities, including gateways and warp gates and all that. So there's a little just, I don't know, I feel like it's an odd hockey setup, and some people like it, some people don't, but it's nice to see that not everybody has their army on 1. But we're having a big push getting ready from Horror. Squirrel is not max. Horror is. This is the type of style that's really devastating on Daybreak. Squirrel's doing a good job of running around with his units, trying to make sure he's in the good position. But actually, oh, this Observer is pivotal. He's being able to move in, and we're going to see the Colossus doing a great job handling the links. It's going to get fired by, no, it's not getting target fired, but there's still these three Immortals. Those are the really key units, the Colossi and the Immortals in this battle, and so far all of them are still alive. The Forces are acting amazingly. This cannon in the back actually still alive as well. First Immortal may fall or it may not, but the Stalkers are actually taking down the Infestors really efficiently. So far, no Immortals have gone down. This one Colossus is still out. There's no extensive lens yet. There's the forward blink. You see the sentry count has been greatly diminished. All of them have taken a lot of damage. Looks like they just got fungal twice, not 3 times. But oh, is that fungal going to finish them off? It may not. It's not. They have 9 health left. My god. If the fungal had happened a half second earlier, it may have killed off all of those sentries. That would have been amazingly good for Horror. But Squirtle now traded as efficiently as you could hope for on a Daybreak multi-pronged attack type of play. Horror has got a little bit of Infestor down here, but the Infestor getting picked off. We see one's gonna go down, 2 actually went down. I think the 3rd also got picked off as well. There's a lot of just roasting going on, and Squirtle is just continuing to pressure this, it's gonna go pressure the front. He's not gonna continue pressure, he's gonna start pressure in the front. He did a little bit before, but he's got a massively strong army, and Horror is once again late on the Spire, and that really makes me nervous for him, because this is a lot of Stalkers anyway, and they have the blink. The +2 attack is done. This 3rd base has managed to take basically no damage, chronoing well, and even though the Forge got taken out, don't think it really matters, because there's another Forge somewhere on the map that's getting out the +3 attack, and now we're going to have the attack coming from Squirtle. He's got a couple of observers with his army just to be safe. He blinks forward, takes down the viewer ship at the watchtower from that Ling, I believe it was, and here we see him pushing forward, making sure he's not getting caught on the choke. He's going to go ahead and lengthen it, widen it, and these sentries are now managed to accrue enough energy for 4, 5, 6, 7 force fields maybe, but one used for guard and shield, so we have 6 force fields. That's still more than enough to shut down the ramp as well as that army, and there we go. You see the forces going down. We have fungals landing from the bottom. There's not that much damage these Infestors can be able to do though. There's just too much stuff, and Squirtle is just wrecking apart these roaches, as there's just so much stuff. Squirtle is keeping his Immortals alive. His Colossi, 3 Colossi plus 3 Immortals, and Squirtle is taking a massive lead in the supply, as all these Overlords are now also super vulnerable. But GG gets called by Horror. GG is called by Horror. We will be seeing you're going to see Startail Squirtle taking the victory in that game, and with that, Squirtle will be moving on to the round of 64. Horror gets taken out, but talk about a great series, and it's kind of amazing to think that this stuff is happening in the round of 128. If you have such a small tournament, usually it's one-sided because you have all the pros and then the Joes and everything, but this Korean qualifier is quite literally only pros. Everybody in here is incredibly skilled, and we have players like T Alone here, Seed is in here, Hero is in here, and so many other people, including MKP and DRG. So this is the skill level of the round of 128. I can't wait to see the next couple rounds. This is going to be amazing. Okay.